Welcome back. University of Northwestern Ohio 225 about to get underway here on Speed, your motorsports authority. Take a look at our temperature and weather here in Sparta, Kentucky. 85 degrees, 66% humidity. It has felt swelteringly hot all day long. Mostly cloudy is the forecast for this evening. Starting grid will roll across the top of your screen. Once again, it is Johnny Sauter leading the field to the green flag. It'll be his second pole of the 2011 season. Want to take a look at our KFC track description and race analysis. Phil?
We talk about it, Michael. Great racetrack with a lot of character. You see the numbers, 14-degree corners, banking in the corners, 8 degrees down the straightaway. But these harsh Midwestern winters do a number on this racetrack.
What I love about this track, Phil, is the fact that these guys have to have some experience to do well here. That's evident by the fact that only one guy under the age of 30 has ever won here. You're bouncing around a lot. You better have some experience to get her done here.
And that was Carl Edwards, and he's pretty good.
Yeah, he's done all right in his career.
He's done a few things in his career. We want to take a look at a few different drivers, find out a little bit more about them in tonight's Speed Spotlight. We'll start off with Ray Dunlap.
Well, Rick, last September when the press release came out, it said that Jack Smith had illegally brought drugs and that he was indefinitely suspended by NASCAR. But what that story didn't tell you was that a year and a half earlier, he had broken his neck in a racing accident and become addicted to pain medicine. Jack Smith used a prescription that was illegal and he got caught. But he told me earlier today it was the greatest thing that ever happened to him in his life. After 4 months of rehab, Jack Smith is pain-free, his neck feels great, and tonight he's reinstated by NASCAR and going racing for the Mittler brothers. A great start to a brand new chapter in this young man's life. Hermie?
Well, Ray, Josh Richards makes his first ever Camping World Truck Series start tonight in the number 15 entry prepared by Kyle Busch Motorsports. Not sure who Josh Richards is? Well, he is a two-time World of Outlaw late model champion. He's got a bus of about 60 people that made the trip from Shinston, West Virginia to watch him tonight. He'll run a total of about 11 races this year, some in the 15, some in the 18. And he's planning to go to Oklahoma tomorrow for a World of Outlaw race, but he is right now focused on career start #1 here at Kentucky. Phil?
Hermie, I want to take a look at 23-year-old John King from Kingsport, Tennessee. John started racing back in 2006 in late models. He participated in the Bill Elliott Driver Development Program in 2009 while also beginning to race in the UARA Late Model Series. He finished 15th in points in that series last year while also making his debut in the Camping World Truck Series at Bristol with an impressive 15th place finish. He's making his 5th Truck Series start tonight in the Edward Jones Investment Toyota, and he will start this race, Michael, from the 19th spot.
Phil, have you ever asked yourself, where did Charlie Vest come from?
Yes.
Well, I've got the answer to that. Charlie is a 37-year-old graduate of the Central Florida short tracks. When you spend years winning on the short tracks of Central Florida in late models, you want to move up, you got to get going. And Charlie did that. First in ARCA, making his first of 7 starts here in Kentucky back in '09. And tonight, he's moving up to the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series, making his debut from the 30th spot in the number 99 collegecomplete.com Ford. Go get him, Charlie.
Thanks, guys. We'll keep our eye on our spotlight participants. And now we will be racing under the lights at Kentucky Speedway. We've always got some great cameras that can give you the action. We'll also ride along with a few drivers. One of those will be Jennifer Jo Cobb. She starts in the 29th position and will carry the Ford on board.
We're also going to ride along with 8-time winner here in the Camping World Truck Series, Brendan Gaughan. He's driving his number 62 South Point Toyota.
Check out Steve Arpin there in the Mike's Hard Lemonade truck. He's fired up to start from the 13th spot tonight.
Starting 10th, Cole Witt will carry the Funai on board. So those are our 4 onboard cameras.
You know, we talk about racing under the lights. You see all that sunshine coming in that cockpit? It's a challenge.
Want to take a look at our Walmart recipe for success tonight. What will it take to win here? What are the winning ingredients at this mile-and-a-half racetrack? We start with Ray.
Well, Rick, let's call it 1-2. I think that's the ingredient because 24 times in this series we've had a team have drivers finish in first and in second place. Now, Roush Fenway has done it the most times, but Kevin Harvick Incorporated has been pretty impressive with 4 attempts. Tonight, I think there's a very good chance that one team could get a first and second. But it's never happened in this series to have a 1-2-3. And tonight, I believe KHI may be poised to set history. Hermie?
Well, ready to pull that off, they're going to have all their crew chiefs make the right call tonight. A lot of talk about the first time the Sprint Cup Series has ever been to Kentucky. The trucks have been here 10 times, but tonight this is a different racetrack. Goodyear's new tire, look at the groove of this racetrack. A lot of rubber has been put down, and the tire wear in practice has been very, very minimal. We've seen a lot of teams run their fastest lap 15, 20 laps into a run. Well, tonight we could see pit strategy, 2 tires, no tires, or fuel only be the winning call tonight. We'll have to wait and see. Rick.
Thank you very much, Hermie. That could be the Walmart recipe for success. Kyle Busch, again, didn't make it on time to the drivers' meeting. He has to go to the back of the field to start this race. Johnny Sauter brings the field to the green flag. He chose the outside line to see what he can do against Austin Dillon. They make up row number 1 as they work their way through the trial. But green flag in the air. We're underway in Kentucky.
Watch the 15 of Josh Richards. He jumped to the outside. You're supposed to stay in line till you get to start-finish line. I think his first lap of his first race in a Truck Series career may result in a black flag.
Yeah, he must not have heard about Johnny Sauter moving out of line for a restart down in Texas, so Josh will probably be black flag for that move.
It looked like he may have given the position back. He went clear up high,
and
we've got 4 wide as we go into turn number 3 the first time.
James Buescher slides up the racetrack, forces Cole Witt up even higher in the 60 truck.
Elliott Sadler with a good start gets in front of the 3 of Austin Dillon to take second away, and they're still 3 wide behind him.
3 wide and 2 rows of them, man. These guys are after it early.
Here's Brendan Gaughan in the South Point Toyota. We know he's not afraid of the high side of the racetrack.
Afraid of it, he loves it. That's where he wants to go.
He'll take the high groove again. Up front, it's Johnny Sauter. Elliott Sadler runs second. Runs a little higher line than Johnny Sauter as they work their way through 3 and 4. Behind them, 2 by 2 and sometimes rows of 3.
There we are again, 3 wide. We're hearing no penalty for Josh Richards, I think, by giving the lap back or the spot back. He was deemed okay.
What do you think his spotter said? Whoa, no, you can't do that, man. We talked about this.
Stop now. Let him by you.
Whoa, look how high Josh is. Is that him up out of the groove?
That is him.
Josh Richards in that 15.
We know he's used to running against the cushion in his his World of Outlaws Dirt late model series.
That's pretty impressive just to survive that little move he made.
The cushion at asphalt track is the wall, so I don't know if he wants to get that high.
You know, you might consider 2 strikes on Josh right now. A little bit of a rough start, high off the turn. You don't usually get 3, do you, Phil?
You sure don't.
7th, 8th, and 9th. Hornaday just in front of James Buescher and Jason White.
Good qualifying effort for Jason White. Really has struggled somewhat this year. New situation for him with his Gunbroker team, but he's looking better and better and better tonight.
Oh,
Johnny sideways.
All over the back of that 13, and sideways goes Sauter. Now a battle for the lead. Dillon's going to take it at the stripe. Elliott Sadler sitting in second.
How about that 3-way sideways battle for the lead here at Kentucky?
Well, I could not believe how sideways Johnny Sauter was. That truck has been so good from the time they unloaded it.
Elliott Sadler used that high groove to drive right around Austin Dillon and grab the lead. Great move by Elliott Sadler.
So Sadler takes over the point. Austin Dillon running second. Johnny Sauter back to third. Take another look at what just happened.
See, Elliott pulled right up beside of John, or right up on the tailgate of Johnny. Got him a little bit loose. Did a nice job saving that truck.
Yeah, and you know who else did a nice job? What about Elliott Sadler? He just sat there and watched all that with his foot on the floorboard. Said, I hope you hang on to it, Johnny.
Ray Dunlap.
Loose 7.5. That's what came across Johnny Sauter's radio. That means he's completely sideways, and on a scale of 1 to 10, 7.5. That's not good news for Joe Shearer, the crew chief.
Well, Ray, would you tell Joe that we would call it a 10 up here?
Oh, problems. Justin Marks in the 66 is into the wall, and there was a truck just in front of him that we saw also involved in this.
That's Johanna Long, the 20 truck. A lot of damage to the left rear of that truck.
On lap 7 of 150, Justin Marks, Johanna Long involved in the first incident on the track.
That's we talked about 3 strikes. That's Justin's second spin today, and first one he looked like survived it pretty well. This one's going to be more damage than that team can probably affect to make him competitive.
Yeah, a lot of damage to Johanna's truck as well.
These two are racing for 28th.
It looked like initially that they were apart. There could have been some contact before we caught that.
Yeah, I'd say they must have gotten together. You can see the right front of the 66 truck. The letters are rubbed off that Goodyear Eagle. Maybe there was some contact from the right front to
the left rear of Johanna's
and that got
truck.
her.
They'll assess the damage to Johanna Long's race truck. They've got her on pit road.
I think they're talking about the rear clip being bent down so much on that truck, and that more than could be terminal for her.
Definitely will be a trip to the garage. I don't believe they can fix it well enough there on pit road.
Out in front of the field, it's Elliott Sadler, the guy who's moved the most since the drop of the green flag. Has to be the 18 of Kyle Busch. He's up to the 19th spot. Tomorrow, the biggest party in racing hits high gear in the Bluegrass State. Tune in as Daytona winner David Reagan and track owner Bruton Smith join the fun. Don't miss NASCAR Trackside from Kentucky tomorrow, 11 Eastern, right here on Speed, your motorsports authority. So our first caution comes out when we've got problems between Johanna Long and Justin Marks. It has been a very warm weekend here in Kentucky. You see the fans outside of, well, the fans in front of the fans here at the racetrack. Elliott Sadler out in front of the field. He was able to get by Austin Dillon when Johnny Sauter got a little bit loose. Coming out of turn number 4, they race to the start finish line. Mike Garvey will get a lap back as he is the Aaron's Lucky Dog recipient.
It's interesting. Johnny Sauter talked about his truck being so loose, a 7.5, which I don't know how you get that. You know, 7 or an 8. I could go with 7.5 anyway, but elected not to pit. Obviously, this is not the time to do it. Hoping that his truck will come around a little bit.
This is a guy that's pitted a couple of times, feels some damage to the front end of that 17 truck. Ray, what are they saying down there in the pit?
Well, Michael, what they were really worried about was overheating this truck because they slapped a bunch of tape on it right as he came in. They said, no, let's look this thing over and make sure we're right. He got involved in that last crash. He was right up on the back side of those trucks that went around, and that's what caused the damage on the front quarter panels there. So they wanted to make sure that they hadn't taped it closed and then overheat the engine.
They continue to work on the 17 of Timothy Peters. They'll get him back out onto the racetrack. We'll take a 60-second break and we'll be right back for the green flag.